In this video, we're going to talk about the incredible reindeer. Now, you might think of them as just holiday icons, but trust me, they are so much more. These animals are true masters of Arctic survival, with some of the most amazing adaptations you'll find anywhere. So, let's find out what really makes them tick. Here's what we've got on tap. First, we'll cover the basics of who reindeer actually are. Then, we'll look at their population numbers around the globe. After that, we'll take a look into a typical reindeer's life. We'll also explore their herd dynamics and the dangers they face, and we'll finish up with 5 fascinating facts that are just awesome. Okay, let's jump right into section 1. So who exactly are reindeer? Well, for starters, the reindeer is a mammal, a species of deer that is perfectly designed for life in some of the coldest places on Earth. Now, you've probably heard two names, reindeer and caribou. Here's the deal. In North America, they're usually called caribou if they're wild, and reindeer if they're domesticated. And here's a killer fact right off the bat. They're the only deer species where the females grow antlers too. So where do they live? Pretty much everywhere up north. Their distribution is circumpolar, meaning they form this massive ring around the North Pole. You'll find them trekking through the tundra and forests of Europe, Asia, and North America, in countries from Norway all the way across Russia to Canada and Alaska. So now that we know where they are, let's do a quick global tally. Just how many reindeer are we talking about? The estimated global population is around 2.43 million. Now that sounds like a huge number, right? But here's the reality check. This species is actually considered vulnerable. Why? Because their numbers have dropped by a shocking 40% in just the last few decades. That's a serious decline. So let's look at where the big populations are. Russia is a major hotspot, with almost 1 million reindeer. It's actually home to the Timer herd, which is the largest wild reindeer herd on the entire planet. Then if you look at Scandinavia, Sweden has about 250,000, and Norway has a smaller population of tough mountain reindeer. Alright, so we know how many there are and where they are. But what is life actually like for a reindeer? Let's get into their diet, mating, and lifespan. So, a female reindeer can live a pretty long life, up to about 17 years. The males, not so much. They live about 4 years less. Mating season happens in the fall, and the dominant males will try to gather a group of about 15 to 20 females. Then, after about 230 days, a single calf is born. And get this? These calves weigh about 6 kilograms at birth and can literally outrun a person within 24 hours. Incredible. And what do they eat? This is one of their superpowers. Their main food in the winter is lichen, that crusty stuff you see on rocks and trees. They're one of the only big animals that can actually digest it. In the summer, it's more standard stuff like leaves and grass. But here's the crazy part. When they're really desperate for nutrients, they've been seen eating small rodents, fish, and even bird eggs. Talk about being resourceful. You know, living in the Arctic means there is definitely strength in numbers. So that brings us to their social lives, their herd dynamics, and all the dangers they have to face to survive. Reindeer herds can get enormous. I mean, during migration, you can have up to 500,000 of them moving together. It's one of the great spectacles of the natural world, but it does make you wonder, in a group that huge, who's calling the shots? Who leads the herd? Well, turns out the answer is, it depends on the season. During the fall mating season, it's the big, dominant males with the largest antlers who are in charge. But when it's time for the long, dangerous migration, the herd puts its trust in an experienced, older female. She's more cautious, better at spotting danger, and knows the safest routes. Smart, right? And there is a lot of danger out there. A reindeer's number one enemy is the gray wolf, but they also have to watch out for bears and wolverines. Even golden eagles will snatch up a newborn calf. And it's not just the big predators. Swarms of mosquitoes and botflies can drive them crazy, causing so much stress they can't even eat properly. And then there are invisible killers, like parasites, that can be fatal. Alright, now for my favorite part. Let's get into 5 truly fascinating facts about these animals and their incredible adaptations for survival. Okay, check out these survival hacks. 1. Antlers for all. We mentioned it, but it's worth repeating. Females grow them too. 2. They have a fur life jacket. Their hairs are actually hollow, trapping air, which makes them float really well when crossing icy rivers. 3. Clicking knees. They have a tendon in their knee that makes a clicking sound when they walk, which helps them communicate with each other. 4. Superhero vision. Their eyes can see an ultraviolet light which helps them spot food and predators against the snow. And their eyes actually change color from gold in the summer to deep blue in the winter to see better in the dark. And 5, all-terrain hooves. In the summer, their hoof pads are soft like sponges, but in the winter, they shrink and harden, turning into little ice picks. How cool is that? So, these adaptations are just brilliant, showing a species perfectly built for its world. But that world is changing faster than ever. So it leaves us with a really important question. With a warming climate and shrinking habitats, will all these amazing survival tools be enough for the reindeer to make it in the future? All right, that is it this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.